Yes.
Thank you. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga is restraining mind from taking various forms. A very warm good afternoon and a hearty welcome to all. I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all presented here for the celebration of 7th International Yoga Day. It gives me immense pleasure to extend my warm wishes on behalf of our Girls Degree College. I welcome our eminent speaker, Dr. Rakesh Tomar, Department of Physical Education, King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, Saudi Arabia, and convey my heartfelt gratitude for accepting the invitation and presiding over this lecture on impact of yoga and exercise on hypokinetic diseases. I also welcome Ms. Zareen Vikaji, President, Awadh Girls Degree College, Professor Nishi Pandey, Manager, Awadh Girls Degree College, our Principal, Dr. Upma Chaturvedi, faculty members, and students. It's my pleasure to introduce our eminent speaker to our viewers. Dr. Rakesh Tomar is currently working as faculty at King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, Saudi Arabia. He has done his graduation and post-graduation with gold medal from University of Delhi and doctorate of philosophy from LNIP Gwalior. Dr. Tomar has visited more than 55 countries, including United Kingdom, Scotland, Italy, Germany, Holland, France, Australia, Spain, Greece, Portugal, and many more for various conferences, seminars, and other activities. He has published more than 50 papers in various journals and books, including 16 papers in Web of Science journal, and authored 3 books in physical education. He is also an associate editor of the International Journal of Health, Wellness and Society, Volume 5-3. Dr. Tomar is an editorial board member of Athens Journal of Sports, and also he is serving as a board member for Asian Society of Kinesiology, Korea. He was awarded 12 fully funded major research projects as a principal investigator. Sir has attended more than 340 international conferences, seminars, and workshops across the world and chaired as a keynote speaker in many international conferences. He is a certified peer reviewer by Pavlon Web of Science, Clarivate Analytics, Philadelphia, USA, and reviewed 116 research papers for international journal and evaluated 19 PhD theses as a foreign examiner. Apart from academic excellence, Dr. Tomar has also been honored with many awards such as Outstanding Service at King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, Saudi Arabia, awarded for passion and devotion by 7th Asian Conferences on Kinesiology, Korea, awarded Certificate of Excellence for Outstanding Presentation by Western Society for Kinesiology and Wellness Conference, Reno, USA, recipient of National Teachers Award, Delhi, and nominee for President Gold Medal Award in Physical Education. In his 22 years of teaching and research experience, Dr. Tomar has worked in various capacities from time to time, such as extraordinary research scientist at Northwest University, South Africa, research fellow at Academic Society for South and North Sports, Korea, adjunct faculty, Rashtriya Raksha University, Gujarat, former Assistant Director of Physical Education, Rajiv Gandhi Central University, Arunachal Pradesh, and many more. With all these merits, Dr. Tomar is an exceptional athlete too. Recently, he conquered Khardungla Pass in cycle expedition. The list of achievements and contribution is endless in the field of physical education and sports. He is a rare blend of academic erudition and talent, yet a very humble and approachable person. Welcome you, sir, and thank you so much for taking out your time for the lecture. Before we begin, a very small announcement for the students to kindly post your questions in the chat box. Moving ahead with the program, I would now request our speaker, Dr. Rakesh Tomar, to share and enlighten us with his knowledge. Welcome, sir, and over to you, sir, please.
Very warm good afternoon to all of you, and thank you so much, Dr. Sarita Singh ji, for inviting me to this webinar. And I'm really blessed, to be with you all at this moment, especially on the occasion of the International Yoga Day. And my sincere thanks to also the entire management of the Awadh Girls Degree College, especially Professor Nishi Pandey, Ms. Zareen, and the principal, Dr. Upma Chaturvedi, under whose guidance in this entire series has been organized. Of course, I welcome all the participants, all the students who are here on board with me on this online platform. And it's my indeed, pleasure that, I'm sharing, whatever knowledge I have, I can contribute to the, health and wellness, of the fellow citizens. Just let me first quickly share my screen with you, and then I will further, begin with my deliberations. Please let me know if my screen is visible to you, if everything is okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I will try, I will try to speak, in languages as I can understand. Maybe some of the students would like to know, in Hindi also. So I try, to speak, as much as possible in Hindi also during my conversation. And this topic which is on your screen, the impact of yoga on hypokinetic diseases, believe me, I'm very honest. This is a topic given to me by Dr. Sarita Singh ji. And thank you so much for for this topic, and for this has also allowed me to explore. Of course, we know that hypokinetic disease is not something new, but I think this is a very good suggestion from you, and this will go a long way in exploring how yoga can help us in the prevention and in the treatment or in the cure of the hypokinetic diseases. As you can see on your screen also, I just try to put some one picture which I feel is very relevant in today's world, when you see because of the advancement in technology, how we how much we are affected because of the lack of physical activity. More and more we are moving towards technology, and we are we are not moving as much we should be doing it. And what a fantastic occasion today is. It's the occasion of International Yoga Day. The whole world is witnessing various activities. Of course it's a symbolic in nature today, but it's very important. Everyone in the world has recognized how important yoga is. We can, even I was saying since morning in India, so many programs are happening. I was also in the many programs in the morning, at various places. Of course, it's an online platform. Many of you might have done some form of a yoga today morning, because it's International Yoga Day, but that's just a symbolic, right? So we should not restrict ourselves to just a day. So it does not mean that today is International Yoga Day. Okay, we'll do yoga today and tomorrow you'll forget. Some of you may do it tomorrow. Some of you may continue for another 1 week. Some of you may do it for a couple of weeks. But how many of you will include yoga, in your lifestyle? How many of you, make it as a part of your life, make it as a way of life? That's more important. Doing in a day or doing for day, 2 or week or month is not a solution. Whether it's a yoga or any form of exercise, you get benefit until you do it. You are doing it. Once you stop doing, or once you stop practicing yoga, once you stop doing exercise, you will, lose all the benefits you have gained over a period of time. And that's the main issue which we have to address in our society, especially, that we need a continuity of such programs. Continuity is very important, and continuity throughout the life, the last breath you have. You see, in yoga is all about breathing, right? The breathing is one of the most important aspects when we do yoga practices. And so you have to do yoga until your last breath, right? So this is what we have to do. And I will try to address, such, things, and I will try to address, other issues related to the yoga during my lecture. Like, for example, I'll be talking about what is yoga and lifestyle. I'll be talking about, what are hypokinetic disease and how yoga can impact, on these diseases. Especially, I will talk about the Hatha yoga, because Hatha yoga is something, which is recommended as a physical activity. And I will try to give evidences, through various researches, why and how Hatha yoga is recommended as one of the form of physical activity throughout the world. And it is almost as equal to the recommendations given by the ACSM, that's American Council for Sports Medicine, and recommendations given by WHO for all physical activity. we will talk about what should be the frequency and duration of a yoga activity, what you're doing means, and how you get benefit from that. Then different at the end, I will show you some of the poses of the heart yoga, which if you do, you can get benefits on your on these hypokinetic diseases. Of course, you might have done many of those poses today itself also, and some of you might be doing, earlier also. So the main focus of my lecture today will be actually, on that, yoga can be considered as a recommended physical activity. That is my main focus. I will try to convince you through my lectures, through various, references what I'm giving, that yoga is a recommended physical activity. It's not just only about meditation. It's not just only about that you just sit and do breathing and inhaling, exhaling. It's more than that. It's as good as any other exercise form. It is as good as any other exercise form, and we will try to find out through various literature how it is a recommended physical activity, and it can be used as an effective tool in prevention and treatment of the hypokinetic diseases. So if we talk about the 21st century, we have seen that there is a lot of advancement in the science and technology. We all know, and because of this advancement of the technology, our body movements have been restricted to a great extent. I think we all will agree with this, and we are experiencing it. So we have to make a deliberate and conscious effort to move ahead from it and to involve ourselves in physical activity, so that we can derive all the benefits. And we know that the breathing is as much essential for life as anything else. This is the most important. And without breathing and a fresh supply of oxygen, the body will die in approximately 5 minutes. And in this pandemic state, last almost 1.5 years, this is something which we all have realized how important yoga can be, especially in the second wave, when we have seen that our respiratory system has been affected so much by this coronavirus. So you need to make your respiratory system, especially, more efficient, more effective, so that you can counter, many of such, impact of such viruses, in coming, in your life, so that you can prevent this. And about yoga, because we know that that yoga is an ancient Indian philosophical, cultural, and traditional discipline, and that's the something beautiful thing which India has given to the world, and world has adopted it. Of course, there are different variations. People have adopted the yoga in a different form, different variations, different colors, but its essence remains the same, right? And it is designed to bring balance. It is designed to bring the health to the physical, to the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual dimensions of an individual. Now, you all know that cardiovascular diseases are most common cause of death in the world, and we cannot deny that. So most number of deaths, which takes place around the world, is because of the cardiovascular diseases, which includes your heart diseases, coronary artery diseases, or any other disease related to the heart. And if you look at the WHO, what WHO has said, according to WHO, yoga is a valuable tool to increase physical activity and decrease non-communicable diseases. So just focus on the word physical activity. Yoga, they have, even World Health Organization, they have understood and they have accepted yoga as one of the physical activity. So many times I have encountered also, I personally, I do a lot of running, I do marathons, I do jogging, I do a lot of physical exercises. But many times, many people say that if when you do yoga, you may not get the same benefit you get from the exercise. That's completely wrong. From the yogic pose, believe me, because yoga is not just a static form. It's not that you have to do just yoga by sitting on one place, or just standing or sitting or just lying. So there are dynamic forms also. So there is a dynamic yoga, the power yoga is there. So we can certainly increase our heart rate to a great extent by various poses of yoga, and we will discuss those part of my lecture. Now, the research has found that yoga exercises improve cardiovascular system function. So of course, it's not something new I'm saying, but I'm just reiterating some of the facts. It can reduce the systolic and diastolic blood pressure. If your blood pressure is high, we'll discuss in detail about all these diseases in later on also, one by one. And of course, it can improve your respiratory system functions. Now, the Hatha Yoga is a branch of yoga. We all know that, and this is a Sanskrit word, which literally which means the force, and that alludes to a system of physical techniques. Currently, at present, yoga is considered one of the fitness forms, as I said before also, which is defined as a form of body and mind. And Hatha Yoga includes dozens of different positions and their variations, which are called as asanas. You know that in English, many times we call it as a poses. Hindi में हम आसन बोलते हैं, English में हम उनको pose बोलते हैं, right? So उसके बहुत सारे variations हैं, बहुत सारे different positions हैं. थोड़ा आगे बढ़ने से पहले, before I move forward, sorry, there is a flow is there, and I continue in one language. I don't know if it is okay if I just speak in English, or should I continue in both languages? Dr. Sarita ji, if you can just.
Yes, sir. English is fine for us, sir.
English is okay. Okay, that's good.
Both are okay. You
Yes,
can
both are.
Okay. थोड़ा सा मोमेंटम जो है ना, एक जो एक बार हो जाता है एक लैंग्वेज में, फिर वो कंटिन्यू हो जाता है उसको. सो जस्ट सॉरी मैं अगर उसको मेंटेन ना कर पाऊँ, बट आई विल ट्राई, मैं कोशिश करूंगा. सो इंडिकेटर्स ऑफ हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस. हम आगे बढ़ने से पहले योगा के बारे में, इफ वी जस्ट वांट टू, वी शुड नो कि हम जब हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस की बात करते हैं, और ये वर्ड हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस, इट्स वेरी वेरी पॉपुलर, वेरी कॉमन. हम हमारी सबकी लाइफ में बहुत बात करते हैं हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस की. हेल्थ एंड वेलनेस है क्या? और उससे बिफोर यू रीड व्हाट इज ऑन योर स्क्रीन, सो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड समथिंग. जो एक बहुत कॉमन क्वेश्चन है, मुझे बहुत प्लेटफॉर्म पे पूछा जाता है, और नॉट ओनली ऑन प्लेटफॉर्म्स, व्हेन आई गो इन माय सोशल सर्कल, जब मैं बाहर कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में जाता हूँ, इवन एट द वर्ल्ड लेवल, डिफरेंट प्लेसेस, आई एनकाउंटर दिस क्वेश्चन, एंड दिस इज एट द बॉटम ऑफ योर स्क्रीन. माय वेट इज नॉर्मल, सो आई एम फिट. ज्यादातर लोग ये बोलते हैं, आप भी बोलेंगे, और मुझे बहुत से लोग जो मेरे सर्कल में मुझे देखते हैं, जब मुझे बोलते हैं, जब मैं उनसे कहता हूँ कि when I tell them that I do a lot of running, I do exercise, and they say, "Hi doc, why do you use so much of exercise? You are fit." I said, I'm fit because I do exercise. So once I stop exercising, I will not be fit. And fitness does not mean about your weight. Weight is not the criteria of fitness. ये आप सब लोग समझ लीजिए, कोई भी है, कि जो आपका वजन है, जो आपका वेट है, वो फिटनेस का क्राइटेरिया नहीं है. वेट इज अ बाय प्रोडक्ट ऑफ एक्सरसाइज, योगा एंड फिटनेस. आप जो योगिक एक्टिविटी करते हैं, एक्सरसाइज करते हैं, वेट उसका एक बाय प्रोडक्ट है, नॉर्मल वेट. अगर आप एक्सरसाइज करेंगे, आपका वेट अपने आप ही नॉर्मल हो जाएगा. लेकिन आप ये सोचिए कि मेरा वेट तो नॉर्मल है, मेरा वजन, मैं ओवरवेट नहीं हूं, तो मैं फिट हूं. ये बहुत बड़ी गलत धारणा है आपकी. जस्ट बिकॉज यू आर लीन, क्योंकि आप दुबले पतले हैं और आप ये सोचे कि मैं फिट हूं, नहीं है. आप एक चेयर पर, कुर्सी पर बैठे बैठे आप फिट नहीं हो सकते. आपको अपनी बॉडी को मूव करना होगा. अंटिल फिटनेस मीन्स व्हाट? फिटनेस का मतलब होता है कि आपका कार्डियोवास्कुलर सिस्टम एफिशिएंट है, ठीक है, आपका रेस्पिरेटरी सिस्टम एफिशिएंट है, आपके बॉडी में आपकी जो मसल्स हैं, उनमें एंड्योरेंस है, स्ट्रेंथ है. दैट इज अ फिटनेस. सो यू कैन नॉट अचीव ऑल दोस थिंग्स विदाउट being physically active. So this misconception has to be removed, and this is one of the important things when we talk about the health and wellness. So the indicators are these coronary heart diseases. Your fasting sugar level should be less. Your lipid profile, that is triglycerides, TCL, HDL, they should be less. Your blood pressure should not be high. You should not be having symptoms like joint problems, like arthritis symptoms, stress and all. So these are the indicators of health and wellness. If you are having any of such, you cannot say I am healthy. I have achieved a full form of the wellness. Now, what is hypokinetic disease? इससे पहले कि हम योगा के इम्पैक्ट को जाने, इन पर डिसीज पर क्या है, हाइपोकाइनेटिक डिसीज होता क्या है, इसको अगर आप समझें, बहुत इजी है ये शब्द अपने आप में ही. इसको आप दो पार्ट में अगर इसको डिवाइड करें, हाइपो एंड काइनेटिक. हाइपो मीन्स लेस, ओके, दैट इज बिलो नॉर्मल, एंड काइनेटिक मीन्स मूवमेंट. Means when your movements are less, movements are below normal, then you develop this hypokinetic disease. That is when you are living a sedentary lifestyle. Sedentary means basically when you are just sitting, you are just reading, watching television, playing video games on computer, and all these are sedentary activities, not doing any physical activity. Then you can say that you are living an inactive lifestyle, and that's called hypokinetic. And this type of lifestyle basically leads to the hypokinetic diseases. So the hypochondriac diseases are, if you see, I have listed down some of the diseases. They can be, some of them can be clubbed together, some of them can be listed separately. Like obesity is one of the disease. Okay, hypochondriac disease, which you get because of the conditions which are associated with inactivity and poor fitness. Then obesity, and then metabolic syndrome. Then you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, osteoporosis, like when your bones become weak, especially जब आप when you cross the age of 40, जो आपकी bones हैं वो brittle हो जाती हैं, उनके अंदर calcium phosphorus कम हो जाता है, and you are more prone to fractures and other diseases. So this is very important, which many of us miss. अब यहाँ में आगे बढ़ने से पहले एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज मैं आपसे शेयर करना चाहता हूँ, जो रिसेंटली मैंने खुद इस चीज को ऐसा मतलब रियलाइज भी किया है. हम लोग जो है, हम क्या करते हैं कि हम जब 40-45 की एज क्रॉस करते हैं तो हमें याद आता है कि हमें फिट रहना है, हमें हेल्दी रहना है. हमें उससे पहले उतना याद नहीं आता है. हम जब 40-45 की, और शायद हालांकि मेरी जो लाइफ है, इट इज ऑलमोस्ट एन एक्टिव लाइफस्टाइल आई हैव लिव्ड, आई हैव लिव्ड थ्रू आउट, बट स्टिल मुझे 40-45 के बाद मुझे ज्यादा एहसास होने लगा कि अब थोड़ा और ज्यादा होना चाहिए या मिस नहीं होना चाहिए. ये सबसे बड़ी गलती हम करते हैं, क्योंकि when you start yourself involved in an active lifestyle, चाहे हम योगा की बात करें कि हम जब योगा ये सब करना स्टार्ट करते हैं, तो वो जो आपको बेनिफिट्स मिलने चाहिए, या जो हम बात करते हैं एक्सरसाइज के बेनिफिट्स, या जो प्रिवेंशन की बात करते हैं, वो आप अगर लेट स्टार्ट करते हैं तो वो आप एक डैमेज ऑलरेडी कर चुके होते हैं अपनी बॉडी को, जिसको कि रिवर्स करना बहुत मुश्किल है. हालांकि आप कभी भी स्टार्ट करें, इट इज गुड, बट एडवाइस यही है कि आपको स्पेशली व्हेन यू आर इन द एज ऑफ 25 to 40, 25 से या 20 कह सकते हैं हम, 20 से 40 साल की एज के बीच में यू हैव टू बी वेरी एक्टिव, क्योंकि वहां पे आप हेल्थ बेनिफिट को रीप करोगे, जो आपको एडवांटेजेस मिलेंगे, then you can carry it forward in later stage in your life. So it's very important. That's why I think I'm addressing the students of the college and which are in that age. So you have to be active at this age. Don't think that you are very strong now and you don't need to be that much active. This is a time where you have to build and develop your fitness and your active by living an active lifestyle, involved in yoga, various forms of yoga, not only just meditation. Yoga is a vast field where you can do so many different kinds of activities to develop your fitness and all. So how yoga improve cardiovascular health? क्वेश्चन बहुत लोगों ने मेरे से पूछा है, और बहुत लोग मुझसे पूछते हैं कि हम जब रनिंग करते हैं तो when you do running, when you do exercise, you can improve your cardiovascular health, but when you do yoga, can you still improve your cardiovascular health? Yes, you can do that. So getting into various postures during a yoga session gently exercises your muscles. So आपके muscles हैं, you can exercise them. So, and when you exercise your muscle, anything that helps your muscles to act or make active is good for your heart and good for your blood vessels. We will further इसको हम थोड़ा सा आगे और investigate करेंगे अपने lecture में towards later part. Activity also helps muscles become more sensitive to insulin, which is important for controlling your blood sugar levels. Now, heart yoga क्या है, and how heart yoga can be very effective. So हमारा focus पूरा अभी heart yoga पर ही रहेगा. So as I said, yoga is a very vast field. You cannot cover yoga in few lectures, and it's just I'm taking one part of yoga, and that to a very small aspect. As I said, I'll be focusing only on to prove that it is a form of a physical activity. So the effects of regular heart yoga practices may depend on the level of physical fitness. हम ये सोचे कि मैं भी योगा कर रहा हूँ, मेरा जो है साथी है वो भी योगा एक्सरसाइज कर रहा है, लेकिन मुझे ज्यादा बेनिफिट हो रहा है, उसे कम हो रहा है या मुझे कम हो रहा है, आपको कई बार लगता है. So it depends upon the level of your fitness. People who have been sedentary might experience the benefits of heart yoga exercises earlier than those who have previously been active. जैसे I am very active person. If I do, मुझे उसके बेनिफिट उतने जल्दी नहीं दिखेंगे क्योंकि मैं ऑलरेडी बहुत एक्टिव हूँ, लेकिन जो इनएक्टिव पर्सन है, जो एक्टिविटी बिल्कुल नहीं कर रहा है, he may see some benefits immediately. So it depends upon the level of your fitness when you start experiencing the benefits of heart yoga. And one more aspect of the heart yoga which is worth emphasizing is that it can be practiced almost everywhere, and that's the beauty of the yoga itself. You don't need any equipment. You don't need anything. You just need a small space, and you can practice yoga almost everywhere. No facilities are required. Nothing is required. आपको किसी चीज की जरूरत नहीं है. You need just your own body. You need your own mind. आपको सिर्फ अपने आप की आप अपने आप को कन्विंस कर सकें that you can convince yourself, yes, yoga is good and important for me. And once you can convince yourself, once you make yoga, a habitual physical activity, I'm emphasizing on the word habitual physical activity, and make it an important lifestyle component. आपको उसको अपनी आदत बनाना होगा. जब तक आप किसी चीज को आदत नहीं बनाएंगे, उसको आप रेगुलर नहीं कर सकते. So you have to make yoga as a habit. और वो हैबिट तभी बनेगी जब आप उसको कॉन्शियसली डेलिबरेटली रोज करेंगे. आप अगर सोचते हैं कि मैं एक हफ्ता 1 वीक या दो वीक योगा करके एंड देन आई विल गेट बेनिफिट्स, नो, you will not continue it. So when you make it habit, and वो habit भी तभी में आप जाएंगे जब आप convinced होंगे. Once you are convinced, if you are not convinced by what you are doing, if you're not satisfied by what you're doing, if you don't realize, if you don't understand the worth, it has to come from your mind. If I give you a lecture and I say you should do yoga from tomorrow, no, that's not. You can listen to me, but ultimately you have to understand. You have to convince. You have to convince your mind. Yes, this is important for me. Yes, and unless you find it convenient and practical to do it. For example, you start tomorrow. You make a program and you start tomorrow and you do it for 1 week. Next week आपका कोई ऐसी प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगी, आप बोलेंगे मैं बिजी हो गया, मेरे एग्जाम्स आ गए, या कोई और प्रॉब्लम्स आ गई, फैमिली प्रॉब्लम्स आ गई, एंड यू डोंट डू इट फॉर 1 वीक. ऐसा तब होता है जब आप किसी भी प्रोग्राम को एब्रप्टली स्टार्ट करते हैं. आप कोई प्लानिंग नहीं करते हैं, आप कुछ सोचते नहीं है, आपने बस बोला चलो कल जाके योगा करते हैं, लेकिन आपने प्लान नहीं किया. आपने देखा नहीं है कि आपने बस सुना कि डॉक्टर राकेश तोमर ने बोला मैं स्टार्ट कर लेता हूँ, मैं इसलिए करता हूँ मैं कोई चीज की मेरा रूटीन मुझे वो अलाउ करता है. सो मेरा जो प्रोग्राम है वो आपको सूट नहीं करेगा, आपका प्रोग्राम मुझे सूट नहीं करेगा. सो यू हैव टू सी योर लाइफस्टाइल. आपको अपना लाइफस्टाइल देखना है, अपना रूटीन देखना है पहले कि व्हाट इज द बेस्ट पॉसिबल वे फॉर मी टू डू. एंड वंस यू स्टार्ट इन दैट वे, you find your lifestyle, you see your routine, and then accordingly you plan for it. I am sure you will never miss it. You will only miss when you start something abruptly. आप बिना सोचे समझे जस्ट शुरू कर देते हैं. जैसे कहते हैं हम कि भेड़ चाल बोलते हैं कि लोग कर रहे हैं चलो हम भी शुरू कर देते हैं. When you start something like that, then you end up that activity and you are not able to continue that. So this is what I have understand, and this is what what is a concern for me when I see that why people are not able to continue these activities for lifelong. हम क्यों इन एक्टिविटीज को छोड़ देते हैं? इसमें एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल ये भी है कि जब हम देखते हैं कि आप ऑनलाइन देखेंगे आप या अपने आसपास आप देखते हैं, बहुत से लोग आपको ऐसे मिलेंगे, प्रैक्टिशनर्स मिलेंगे जो आपको बोलेंगे दिस इज अ 12 वीक प्रोग्राम, 16 वीक्स प्रोग्राम है, आइए ज्वाइन कीजिए, 8 हफ्ते का योगा का प्रोग्राम, आपको हम ये देंगे, आपको वो देंगे. मुझे ये समझ नहीं आ रहा. आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दैट व्हाई पीपल से अ 12 वीक प्रोग्राम, 8 वीक्स प्रोग्राम, 16 वीक्स प्रोग्राम. व्हाट डज इट मीन? साइकोलॉजिकली यहीं पे जो है ना बैरियर्स स्टार्ट हो जाते हैं. आपको ये मैसेज आता है कि ये 16 वीक्स प्रोग्राम है, मुझे 16 हफ्ते तक ही करना है और उसके बाद मुझे नहीं करना है. सो दिस इज अप्रोच. हमारी जो अप्रोच है, जो हमारा तरीका है, वो ही गलत है. Why don't we have a programs? हम ऐसा प्रोग्राम क्यों नहीं बनाते हैं जिसको कि हम पूरी लाइफ लॉन्ग प्रैक्टिस कर सकें? हम 16 हफ्ते का 12 हफ्ते का प्रोग्राम क्यों बनाते हैं? इसीलिए सक्सेसफुल नहीं है हम. इसीलिए आप देखें कितना जोर है आजकल एक्टिविटी के ऊपर, कितना अवेयरनेस हो गया है ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड. आई कैन सी पीपल आर अवेयर. लेकिन साथ साथ अगर आप देखते हैं जो ये हाइपोकाइनेटिक डिसीजेस की हम बात कर रहे हैं, ओवरवेट की बात कर रहे हैं, क्या आप इनमें डाउनवर्ड ट्रेंड देख रहे हैं? नो, there is an upward trend. अगर आप उठा के देखें किसी भी कंट्री का, देश का, आप इंडिया का देख लीजिए या जहां पे मैं रहता हूं वहां का देख लीजिए, there is an upward trend. जो ओबेसिटी है, ओवरवेट है, वो अभी बच्चों में आ गई है. there is चाइल्डहुड ओबेसिटी. अगर ये सारे प्रोग्राम जो हम ऑफर कर रहे हैं, ये सारे प्रोग्राम्स आज से नहीं है, they are there for decades. But still, why we are not successful? Because our approach is wrong. We are not able to convince, we are not able to make the programs which can be लाइक यू नो प्रैक्टिस फॉर लाइफ। हम ऐसा प्रोग्राम करते हैं कि या ऐसी डाइट देते हैं, जब हम खाने की बात भी करते हैं, ऐसी डाइट बताते हैं कि वो डाइट आप 2 हफ्ते 3 हफ्ते 1 महीने से ज्यादा खा नहीं सकते, because that's not suitable to you. So why we offer anything which you cannot do it for life? So we have to address these things, at the grassroots level, and then only we can, make yoga as a way of our life. Now, Hatha yoga is, as I said, it is a form of physical activity, and it has been seen that Hatha yoga can help in improvement in health related fitness. जो आपकी हेल्थ से रिलेटेड फिटनेस है उसको इंप्रूव करने में हठ योगा बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है। नाउ फिटनेस भी 2 तरह से होती है। एक फिटनेस होती है आपकी, जैसे ये आप देख रहे हैं स्क्रीन पे, हेल्थ रिलेटेड फिटनेस। दूसरी फिटनेस होती है फिटनेस रिलेटेड टू योर स्पोर्ट्स। जब हम कोई गेम खेलते हैं या स्पोर्ट्स करते हैं या हम कोई प्रोफेशनल स्पोर्ट्स कर रहे हैं, तो वो फिटनेस अलग है, that they in a different level of fitness. But for you, for a general common people, we need only health related fitness. So Hatha yoga करने से जो है there is an improvement in these components of health related fitness, which are जैसे flexibility. So there is an improvement seen in the flexibility when you do the Hatha yoga. Of course, this you will all will agree this, but there is also improvement seen in your muscle endurance. You improve your muscle endurance, you improve your muscle strength, you improve your cardiorespiratory fitness. आपकी जो कार्डियोरेस्पिरेटरी फिटनेस है वो इंप्रूव होती है। देयर इज an improvement in the reaction time also when you do the Hatha yoga, and you do all those things, overall there is an improvement in your body composition. जो आपकी बॉडी कंपोजिशन है उसके अंदर भी इंप्रूवमेंट होती है। मींस बॉडी कंपोजिशन का मतलब है कि जो आपका जो मसल का जो वेट है, मसल का जो मास है, और जो फैट का मास है, उसका रेशियो इंप्रूव हो जाता है। हठ योगा करने के बाद आपका जो फैट परसेंटेज है बॉडी में वो कम हो जाता है, और जो मसल का जो परसेंटेज है वो बढ़ जाता है, विच इज अ गुड साइन ऑफ, इट्स वन ऑफ द इंडिकेटर ऑफ अ गुड हेल्थ. So the Hatha yoga increase exercises also, they are important intervention for primary and secondary prevention of metabolic diseases, particularly for the management of type 2 diabetes and obesity. रेगुलर योगा ट्रेनिंग कैन इम्प्रूव ब्रीदिंग पैरामीटर्स. आप जब रेगुलर ट्रेनिंग करते हैं योगा की, तो आपके जो ब्रीदिंग पैरामीटर्स हैं वो भी इम्प्रूव होते हैं. सो योर प्रोग्राम शुड इंक्लूड लाइक ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइजेस, फॉर एग्जांपल प्राणायाम should be performed at least 10 weeks so that you get the desired benefits. Respiratory efficiency is highly important in the prevention of pulmonary diseases, and this we have seen especially in the second wave of coronavirus, how important this respiratory efficiency is. Like for example, the symptoms of bronchial asthma and all. So what does the research say? जो research क्या कहती है, about the impact of the Hatha yoga on various aspects of your health. So if you see the researchers which I have quoted here, कि अगर आप 90 minutes का program करते हैं Hatha yoga का, intensive Hatha yoga, here intensive. You see, when we talk about yoga as a physical activity, it has to be intense. It has to be intense means आप जब करते हैं तो आपकी सांस फूलनी चाहिए. सांस फूलने से मतलब है कि आपका ब्रीदिंग रेट इंक्रीज होता है, आपका हार्ट रेट इंक्रीज होना चाहिए. अगर आपका हार्ट रेट इंक्रीज नहीं होगा, एक चीज आप समझ लीजिए, बहुत सिंपल प्रिंसिपल जो आपको हमेशा समझना चाहिए. आप कोई भी एक्सरसाइज कर रहे हैं, कोई भी फॉर्म योगा कर रहे हैं, जब तक आपका हार्ट रेट 120 के ऊपर नहीं जाएगा, 120 बीट्स पर मिनट के ऊपर नहीं जाएगा, आपको जो आपके हार्ट के लिए जो बेनिफिट चाहिए, कार्डियोवास्कुलर बेनिफिट चाहिए, वो आपको नहीं मिलेंगे. सो आपका हार्ट रेट 120 के ऊपर जाना चाहिए जब आप योगा की एक्सरसाइजेस कर रहे हैं या अदर एक्सरसाइज भी कर रहे हैं. उसके नीचे रहता है तो आपको कोई बेनिफिट नहीं है. आप सिर्फ अपने आप को थकाते हैं और कुछ नहीं करते हैं उसके अलावा. दैट्स इट. सो यू हैव टू मेक योर हार्ट रेट गो बियॉन्ड 120. So the Hatha yoga improves your cardiorespiratory fitness. 60 minutes का सूर्य नमस्कार का जो प्रोग्राम है, if you do it for 6 days a week, it also showed a significant increase in the muscle strength and endurance. So आप सूर्य नमस्कार जो करते हैं उससे आपकी leg muscle strength और endurance improve होता है. And yoga classes 6 days a week for 12 weeks, एक research हुई है उस पे. Then they found that there is a significant reduction in your reaction time, so which is again very important. And there is also an increase in the maximum expiratory and inspiratory pressure. both like it, it helps you to increase your breath holding time. और वो कैसे होता है, जब आप जो ये एक्सरसाइजेस करते हैं, प्राणायाम करें आप या दूसरी ब्रीदिंग एक्सरसाइजेस करते हैं योगा में, so it improves the strength of your expiratory muscles and your inspiratory muscles. जो आपकी expiratory muscles हैं, इनकी muscle में strength में improvement होती है, और ये because of the improvement in the strength of these muscles, you are improving your breathing, or your breathing holding time is also improved. हमने देखा होगा अभी कोरोना वायरस में, आप लोगों ने बहुतों ने सुना होगा वेरियस लोगों से कि कैसे आप ये जान सकते हैं कि आपकी जो इन्फेक्शन है वायरस का वो ठीक हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है। तो आपका अगर ब्रीथ होल्डिंग टाइम अगर बढ़ रहा है तो इट मींस यू आर इंप्रूविंग। हमने ये सब चीजें देखी है ड्यूरिंग कोरोना वायरस टाइम, सो दीज आर सो इम्पोर्टेंट। Now let us see the effect of yoga on some of these hypokinetic diseases. We start from the diabetes. So there's a lot of research done on diabetes. Even I have done some research projects in which I have seen the impact of both exercise and yoga, on the diabetes patients, especially on the type 1 patients and type 2 patients. जो छोटे बच्चे होते हैं जिनमें type 1 diabetes ज़्यादा common होती हैं, जो एडल्ट्स हैं ओल्ड एज स्पेशली, उनमें टाइप 2 डायबिटीज ज्यादा होती है। तो दोनों पे ही हमने रिसर्च की, मैंने भी रिसर्च की इस प्रोजेक्ट में, और मैं कुछ बाकी रिसर्चेस यहाँ पे भी आपके सामने रख रहा हूँ। सो इफ यू डू हट योगा इंटरवेंशन, इट बेसिकली इंप्रूव्स योर मेटाबॉलिक रिस्क प्रोफाइल्स। सो जिसमें कि आपका लिपिड प्रोफाइल आ जाता है, आपका फास्टिंग शुगर लेवल आ जाता है, और आपका HbA1c काउंट है वो आ जाता है। सो एक्सरसाइज योगा करने से 12 वीक ऑफ हट योगा improves all these profiles. Even it has seen on that the patients which were 30 to 60 years of age, that there is a reduction in fasting blood glucose levels, there is a reduction in the systolic and diastolic blood pressure, and the heart rate at rest also reduced after this yogic program, a 40-day yoga program. Yoga exercises also decreases your BMI, that is body mass index. It improves your glycemic control, which is your your blood sugar control, and also you increases your vitamin C levels, which could be used as a therapy in reducing oxidative stress in diabetes patients. Now, yoga also helps to improve your metabolic syndromes and obesity. If you can see here on this screen that with a regular practice of yoga, the weight circumference in overweight people can be reduced. But of course, you need time for such intervention. At least in this program it was 6 months. There is also significant improvement seen in BMI and fasting plasma glucose. And yogasanas and pranayam for 3 months continuous, 1 hour every day in morning, have also resulted in decrease in body weight, decrease in your body mass index, and decrease in the waist hip ratio. So there is a significant research which proves that that yogic exercises, if you continue for a certain period of time from 3 to 6 months, it can help to reduce metabolic syndromes and obesity. Then next one is a depression. Depression is also another important like illness we can say, or the state of mind which we are which many of us are facing in today's world. It's right from the teenagers to in the old age. Many of us falls into this because of various lifestyle factors, because of various other co-factors which can result in depression. And this is something which we need to address, and yoga has demonstrated that there is a really good beneficial effects on depressive disorders. So there were significant reductions for the depression, significant reductions in the anger, anxiety, and other neurotic symptoms as a result of yoga, which was given as a complementary treatment for depression at various levels. And yoga also decreases anxiety, it also decreases the stress and the levels of salivary cortisol. And that's very true. If like I was in a morning in a lecture somewhere where my fellow speaker he just asked all of us, and I think you must have done it this in online platform also. If you do for 2 to 3 minutes, he just ask us to chant home and close our eyes, and you feel that after even just doing it for 2 to 3 minutes, you will feel that you just calm down, your energy, you're hyper, you become less hyper, after that. And your mind, in a more stable and balanced state after doing this type of, controlled, activities. So yoga is very beneficial in depression, in controlling the depression, and also in pulmonary functions, like especially the bronchial asthma. Yoga can significantly improve the lung functions, and it can, and why it improves the lung function, because as I said before also, it develops strength in your inspiratory and expiratory muscles. जो आपकी मसल्स हैं जिनसे आप ब्रीदिंग करते हैं, वो जो मसल्स हैं वो मसल्स स्ट्रॉन्ग हो जाती हैं, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट देयर इज इंप्रूवमेंट इन द लंग फंक्शन. And of course, there are even some studies, where they compare yoga with the swimming. कि आप अगर योगा करते हैं और साथ में आप स्विमिंग करते हैं दूसरे लोग, तो क्या दोनों एक्टिविटी करने से आपको सिमिलर बेनिफिट मिल रहे हैं, especially on your lung functions. And it has been observed that yes, both yoga and swimming can improve your force battle capacity, can improve your peak expiratory flow rate, can improve your maximum ventilation volume. So certainly, yoga has been proven beneficial in pulmonary functions. If you talk about the high blood pressure, regular yoga करने से आप 1 घंटा अगर डेली योगा करते हैं, then it was found to be effective in controlling blood pressure in hypertensive subjects. And remember, you can get benefit of yoga on all these diseases only if you are doing it regularly. Remember, consistency and regularity, these two things are very important in yoga. You just cannot pick and choose and selective on doing it. If you do it just for some time, that will not going to help you. So it has to be consistent and on regular basis. So yoga together with relaxation and other techniques of meditation, like like a biofeedback also, have been found to have convincing effect on high blood pressure. Even like a Sukha Pranayam, if you do it at the rate of 6 breaths per minute, it can reduce your heart rate and systolic blood pressure in hypertensive patients within 5 minutes of practice. So it's quite efficient. If you talk about the lipid profile, then lipid profile means your fast, in this comes basically your high cholesterol, like total cholesterol, your triglycerides level, low density lipoprotein, high density lipoprotein, ये सब इसमें आ जाते हैं, and they are very important nowadays, especially आप जब देखेंगे कि आज की जनरेशन में या आज की डेट में the problem of heart attack has now this is in the young people also. बहुत यंग एज में लोग, मैं कितने लोगों को देखता हूँ कि आप 30, 31, 32 इयर्स की एज में लोगों को हार्ट अटैक आ जाता है. पहले हमें सुनते थे कि ओल्ड एज में होता है. नाउ दिस इज लाइक अ रेगुलर फीचर इन द यंग एज आल्सो. 30, 31, 32 वी हैव सीन हियर रिसेंटली. अभी आपने अगर कुछ लोगों ने सुना होगा, इफ यू आर वाचिंग द न्यूज रेगुलरली, देयर वाज अ फुटबॉल प्लेयर इन डेनमार्क, अभी मैच के दौरान उसको हार्ट अटैक आ गया था, एंड luckily like he was survived because of the CPR technique. They are able to save him. So, and just you see his age, it is less than under 30 years of age. So and उसका एक मेन कारण क्या है हार्ट अटैक का, जो आपकी स्किन के ऊपर है, लिपिड प्रोफाइल. आपके जो ये कोलेस्ट्रॉल लेवल्स हैं डिफरेंट, स्पेशली जो ट्राइग्लिसराइड लेवल है, उसे कंट्रोल करना बहुत जरूरी है. And the important what we are discussing here is that yoga can help to especially various forms of asanas and pranayam can help to reduce LDL, VLDL and triglycerides towards the bottom trend. There's also a significant decrease in the serum total cholesterol, significant decrease in triglycerides and LDL levels, also reductions in the fatty acids. So all these things can help to decrease your lipid profile status. Then yoga can also help in prevention of coronary artery diseases, and coronary artery disease is one of the main reasons for the heart attack. We all know that. So there are studies which have found that after doing yoga for 1 year, there was a decrease in the number of anginal episodes per week, and there's an improved exercise capacity and decrease in the body weight. So yoga based lifestyle modifications also help in regression of coronary lessons and improving myocardial perfusions, which was translated into clinical benefits. Even yoga has been now been given as a like supplementary treatment along with the other forms of treatment for coronary artery diseases. Now, if you see in all the big hospitals, even if you go to the AIIMS or other hospitals, yoga is included as a form of a treatment along with the conventional treatment. So जो आपकी रेगुलर ट्रीटमेंट चले इसके साथ साथ डॉक्टर्स जो हैं योगा को भी इंक्लूड करते हैं. योगा थेरेपी इज इंक्लूडेड फॉर द कोरोनरी आर्टरी डिसीजेस पेशेंट्स. Now let's come to understand, again हम कैसे physical activity जो हठ योगा है वो how it is उसकी जो intensity है या duration है, how it can fall in line with the guidelines given by WHO and American Council for Sports Medicines. Now, if you look at the latest guidelines given by WHO 2020 guidelines, it was released last year, about the physical activity. Now, the WHO says that you should do at least 75 to 150 minutes of vigorous, intense physical activity in 1 week, at least. Okay, and the same thing is emphasized by the American Council for Sports Medicine also, and also the American Heart Association. They recommended that all healthy adults between 18 to 65 years should do moderate intensity physical activity for minimum of 30 minutes on 5 days. And if you're doing a vigorous, then you can do it like for 20 minutes on 3 days. So these are the recommendations for physical activity for common people by these two leading organizations. So the question here is that does Hatha Yoga fulfill PA recommendations? जो हमने recommendations अभी देखी हैं ACSM और WHO की, क्या Hatha Yoga इन recommendations को fulfill करता है? That's a big question, because we want to do yoga as one of the physical activity. So yes, besides the adequate intensity of physical activity, the type of exercise, aerobic strength, basically, or the flexibility and balance, they are also important. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just stop sharing just give me 30 seconds. I'm sorry for this brief interruption. Actually, I just forgot to, switch on my power plug and my battery was draining out. So I just realized that I did not switch on the power plug. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so what's the evidence say? The evidence says that, yes, the yoga training with Surya Namaskar for more than 10 minutes. If you do yoga training with Surya Namaskar for more than 10 minutes, can contribute some portion of recommended physical activity to improve cardiorespiratory endurance in sedentary individuals. There is also another research which says that the intensity of Surya Namaskar, जो सूर्य नमस्कार है, जो उसकी इंटेंसिटी है वो 3.74 MET है. अगर आप MET को नहीं समझते हैं, so then you can see that it is almost equal to the 67% of maximum heart rate. So जो हम रिकमेंड एक्टिविटी करते हैं एक्सरसाइज के लिए, हमेशा रिकमेंडेड की जाती है कि आपको 40 से 60% के बीच में आपकी जो हार्ट रेट का जो आपका मैक्सिमम हार्ट रेट है उसके बीच में आपकी होनी चाहिए. So if we see that the intensity of Surya Namaskar falls in line with the recommendations given by the ACSM. If you see the energy expenditure, जो energy expenditure होता है जब आप हठ योगा करते हैं, so that is also equal to 2.5, that is MET. MET means metabolic expenditure जो आपका होता है, या फिर जो आपका energy expenditure है power yoga का. Power yoga means जो हठ योगा का एक dynamic form है, right? उसका जो energy expenditure that is even equal to 4 MET. And for Surya Namaskar, it is equals to 3.3. So these are all roughly, we can say comes in moderate to vigorous physical activity as recommended by the WHO and, ACSM. And that's why we can say that, yes, Hatha Yoga fulfill the recommendations of physical activity and they can be incorporated, as one of the form of physical activity. So besides, other than this, the intensity of physical activity, the Hatha Yoga also include poses, like shaping muscle strength and endurance. जैसे कि आप कितने आसन आप करते हैं जिसमें आपको बैलेंस आप करते हैं, एक हाथ पे बैलेंस करते हैं, आप एक पैर पर बैलेंस करते हैं, आपके स्टैंडिंग आसनास होते हैं. So all these poses using one's own body weight. So basically in yoga, you are using your own body weight, with different poses, and that's how you develop strength, flexibility, and a balance. Further, if you see that the dynamic transition from one position to the another position, that also help basically, and this type of transformation is considered as a aerobic exercise. Even like when you are standing, when you are performing a Surya Namaskar को हम एक तरह की aerobic exercise भी कह सकते हैं. So that's why we can say that hot yoga training could meet the recommendations of physical activity as proposed by WHO and ACS. But however, much of it depends upon individual. फिटनेस ये बहुत सी चीजें डिपेंड करती हैं कि एवरी इंडिविजुअल रिस्पॉन्ड डिफरेंटली. हर इंडिविजुअल का जो फिटनेस लेवल है वो अलग है. हर इंडिविजुअल जो है वो अलग तरह से इसमें आगे बढ़ेगा, एडवांस करेगा. सो इट्स बेसिकली द अप्रोच इज फ्रॉम डिफरेंट फ्रॉम वन इंडिविजुअल टू अदर इंडिविजुअल. फॉर फिट इंडिविजुअल्स जो पहले से ही फिट हैं, उनके लिए डायनेमिक सूर्य नमस्कार या पावर योगा ज्यादा अप्रोप्रिएट होगा. जैसे मैंने कहा, आई एम अ फिट पर्सन, फिट इन द सेंस आई डू रेगुलर फिजिकल एक्टिविटी. So I have to involve, in more form of like a dynamic Surya Namaskar या फिर power yoga, compared to someone who is not that much physically active. So proper selection, yoga का करना, proper poses का selection करना, proper duration, proper exercise, proper frequency का होना, वो important है to get the beneficial effects on your physical fitness. वो सब भी हम डिस्कस करेंगे अभी. जैसे कि हम बात करते हैं फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ योगा ट्रेनिंग. आपकी योगा ट्रेनिंग की फ्रीक्वेंसी कितनी होनी चाहिए, कितने दिन आपको करना है, कितने टाइम तक करना है आपको, ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. नाउ बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स देयर कैन बी सम वेरिएशंस. द ब्यूटी ऑफ योगा इज, योगा की जो एक खूबसूरत बात वो यही है कि आप इसको अपने हिसाब से बहुत हद तक मॉडिफाई कर सकते हैं. आपको जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको सारे आसन, एवरीबडी इज नॉट एक्सपर्ट, राइट? एंड वी आर नॉट, जब आप योगा करते हैं तो आप किसी प्रतियोगिता में तो हिस्सा ले नहीं रहे हैं, है ना, लाइक. तो सो यू आर जस्ट लाइक डूइंग इट फॉर योर ओन हेल्थ. सो इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी दैट यू हैव टू डू एवरीथिंग परफेक्टली. यू हैव, इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज कि यू अंडरस्टैंड द आसन व्हाट यू आर डूइंग. आपको ये पता होना चाहिए कि आसन कैसे करना है, ये आसन क्यों करना है, और आपको कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि आपको उसको, नॉट परफेक्शन, बट आपको जितना अच्छा उसे कर सकते हैं उतना अच्छा करने की कोशिश करना है. बट द मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव इज दैट यू हैव टू मूव योर बॉडी. सबसे जो मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव है वो ये है कि आपको अपनी बॉडी के अंदर मूवमेंट्स करनी है, आपको फिजिकली एक्टिव रहना है. सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज, यू शुड डू एटलीस्ट 5 times a week for 60 to 90 minutes duration if you are not involved in other forms of activity. अगर आप कुछ और नहीं करते हैं, आप सिर्फ योगा ही करते हैं, तो आपको एटलीस्ट हफ्ते में 5 दिन तो करना चाहिए, 60 से 90 मिनट्स, अगर आपको इसके एडवांटेजेस लेने हैं तो. इफ योर फोकस इज मेनली ऑन एरोबिक और स्ट्रेंथ, अगर आपका फोकस एरोबिक और स्ट्रेंथ के ऊपर है, तो उस केस में हॉट योगा ट्रेनिंग शुड बी डन 2 to 3 times a week for about 40 to 90 minutes. Because when you do aerobic and strength, so आपको ऐसे आसन्स करने पड़ेंगे जो डिफिकल्ट होते हैं, जिसमें काफी दे आर टफ. सो इन दैट केस आपकी जो ड्यूरेशन और इंटेंसिटी वो थोड़ी कम हो जाती है. If your aim is stretching and flexibility, आपका अगर एम सिर्फ है कि आपको अपनी स्ट्रेच और फ्लेक्सिबल करना है, then it should be performed even daily. फिर आप डेली भी कर सकते हैं वो सारे आसन, और at least 3 times a week, about 10 to 15 minutes, and we must hold any pose what are you doing for at least 30 to 60 seconds. Now, similar, if we look at the structure of the yogic asanas, they are almost like similar to the structure of your fitness training. हम fitness training करते हैं तो उसमें हमारे 3 पार्ट होते हैं. हम शुरू में वार्म अप करते हैं, फिर आपका मेन एक्सरसाइज होती है वो जिसमें ज्यादा फोकस होता है, एंड देन उसके बाद एंड पार्ट होता है जिसमें आप कूल डाउन करते हैं, राइट. सो इसी तरह से जो आप हॉट योगा ट्रेनिंग है, इट आल्सो कंसिस्ट ऑफ 3 parts. इन द फर्स्ट पार्ट इट कंटेन्स, पहले तो आप इंस्ट्रक्शंस देते हैं पार्टिसिपेंट्स को या खुद को भी, आप जो भी है, जिसमें कि आप यू असेस योरसेल्फ एंड देन यू डू द माउंटेन पोज. जो आपका माउंटेन पोज होता है वो फर्स्ट पार्ट में किया जाता है. with special attention to the positions of each parts of the body. And then second part में then आप जब आपकी body मतलब tune हो जाती है उसके you can do the more dynamic forms, more intense forms of asanas like सूर्य नमस्कार आप कर सकते हैं, you know, और जो बाकी सारे आसन्स हैं जिसको आप आपके sagittal, frontal और transverse planes मतलब जो ये वाला plane है, you know, this plane and you know the frontal plane इसके अंदर जो आप कर सकते हैं, and the muscle strengthening poses आप कर सकते हैं, उसमें muscle extending poses करते हैं, हम prone poses करते हैं, sitting poses करते हैं. जो third part होता है basically that is more of a relaxation part and moving towards the end. जहाँ पर आपका फोकस ज्यादा होता है वो लाइन पोजेस में होता है. आप जो जितने आसन हैं लेट के करते हैं या रिवर्स पोजेस में करते हैं या फिर रिलैक्सिंग. सो एक सिस्टम है कि आप खड़े होकर फिर उसमें आप धीरे धीरे आपकी इंटेंसिटी बढ़ाते हैं, देन यू कम टू द सिटिंग पोजीशन, देन यू कम टू द लाइन पोजीशन एंड देन फाइनली रिलैक्सेशन. सो देयर इज अ सिस्टम, देयर इज अ सिस्टमैटिक वे ऑफ डूइंग ऑल दीज आसनास. ऐसा नहीं है कि आप कोई भी आसन कहीं भी कर ले, कि आप पहले लाइन पोज करें फिर आप खड़े हो जाएं फिर बैठ जाएं, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. So there is a way of doing, you know, these asanas. Now, so these are like now following. I'm giving you some of the asanas. I think most of these poses आपको पता होंगे. I'm just, you know, now moving towards the end of my lecture. Just a couple of minutes. So ये इसमें there are different सारे poses आप देख सकते हैं अभी. I have to actually keep moving my this screen. So you start with a mountain pose. फिर आपके ये सारे ज़्यादा स्टैंडिंग पोज हैं. जैसे आप स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं अपनी जब योगा का आप हठ योगा का स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं आसन, एंड देन यू कैन मूव टू द नेक्स्ट फेज दैट इज आर्म सपोर्ट, यू नो, जिसमें आप अपने आर्म की स्ट्रेंथ को इम्प्रूव करने के लिए यू कैन डू दीज आसन्स. एंड देन यू हैव द बैलेंस पोजेस. ये सारे जो बैलेंस पोजेस हैं व्हेन यू स्टैंड ऑन द वन लेग बेसिकली. सो you are not only improving here your like, you know, equilibrium, but also you are improving the strength and the endurance in your leg muscles. आप साथ में improve करते हैं, and that's why, you know, these asanas are considered as a physical activity. फिर आपके strengthening poses हैं, इसमें आप अपनी muscle अब इसमें एक चीज मैं आपको शायद बीच में मैंने डिस्कस नहीं किया, मैं वो बताना चाह रहा था कि when we do these asanas, अगर आप ये आसन्स देखें, do you think that these asanas are very easy to hold? No. अगर आप if you look at the full boat pose, आप नीचे की बात करते हैं, so these are like plank. जैसे हम एक्सरसाइज करते हैं, आपने प्लैंक का बहुत सुना होगा आजकल. बहुत से लोग बोलते हैं हमें प्लैंक करने चाहिए, आपको टमी कम करनी है, अपना स्टमक कम करना है, तो राइट. So all these asanas, you know, they require a lot of strength. आप जब इन आसन्स को प्रॉपर तरीके से करते हैं, when you hold these asanas for few seconds, your heart rate increases significantly. वो होता किस लिए है? आपकी स्ट्रेंथ डेवलप कैसे होती है? आपको वजन तो उठा नहीं रहे हैं, you're not lifting any weight, then how your strength is increasing? Your strength is increasing because you are doing here isometric contractions. जो हमारी मसल की जो contraction होती हैं वो दो तीन तरह से होती हैं. तो हम इसमें isometric contractions आपकी मसल्स की करें, static contractions, and you are giving a resistance, developing a resistance for the muscles, and that's how you develop the strength. तो इसलिए आपके ये जितने भी आसन्स करने से आपकी जो है डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ द बॉडी, चाहे आपके हैंड्स हो या लेग्स हो या आपका कोर बॉडी की बात हो, यू डेवलप द स्ट्रेंथ. एंड कोर मसल्स, जब कोर मसल्स की बात करते हैं, दीज आर वेरी गुड फॉर योर स्टमक आल्सो. सो यू कैन डू दीज आसनास टू डेवलप द स्ट्रेंथ. Then your upper and lower limbs, आप अपने upper and lower limbs के लिए again these are the asanas, you know, which again important for developing the strength. Then you can do the some poses that extend the chest muscles. So आप chest muscles को extend करने के लिए, उसको stretch करने के लिए, these are beautiful poses which are again, you know, very helpful. Then आपका जो शोल्डर गर्डल है, आपका जो कंधे हैं, उनकी मसल्स को इंप्रूव करने के लिए यू कैन डू द काउ फेस पोज. यू कैन डू द आपकी जो हैमस्ट्रिंग्स हैं, जो आपके थाइज के पीछे की जो मसल्स हैं हैमस्ट्रिंग्स, उनको स्ट्रेच करने के लिए यू कैन डू, यू नो, दिस पश्चिमोत्तासन. एंड अगेन, यू नो, हेड टू नी पोज अगेन फॉर योर, you know, your leg muscles, you know, flexibility. Then you can do further few more these asanas. They are all related to your lower limb or the leg, especially for the thighs. And then again few more poses. Now you can do for the back muscles. जो आपकी back muscles हैं, उसको strengthen करने के लिए, उसको flexible करने के लिए आप ये सब poses कर सकते हैं. You know, whether it's a balasana or whether it is a belly twist, you know, both they are very effective and very good And then you can see some of the poses now here, which are basically done in a prone position. Prone का मतलब है कि जब आप पेट के बल कोई भी आसन करते हैं, कोई भी एक्टिविटी करते हैं. So all these are prone position आसन, which are again good for your back. And then you move to the sitting poses. So there are a lot of sitting poses which are again important, in various improving your various body abilities and your strength at different parts of your body. You can do then towards the end you can go with the lying poses. आप लेट के ये सारे आसन बहुत से आप लोगों ने जो योगा करते हैं आपने सारे आसन किए होंगे और आप ये आसन करते होंगे डिफरेंट, लेकिन इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि आपको इनको एक प्रॉपर सीक्वेंस में करना चाहिए. एंड देन दे आर रिवर्स पोजेस हैं कुछ, बट जो रिवर्स पोजेस हैं इनको आपको केयरफुली करना चाहिए. अगर आप लोग इनमें से कोई भी आसन कर रहे हैं तो उसके लिए कुछ कॉन्ट्राडिक्शंस हैं. अगर आपको कोई मेडिकल प्रॉब्लम है, कोई आपको ब्लड रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम है, आपको कार्डियोवैस्कुलर कोई प्रॉब्लम है अगर, सो आपको अपने फिजिशियन की सलाह के बाद या थोड़ा केयरफुली आपको इन्हें करना चाहिए. So these any person who are having some medical conditions, you should be careful, for these asanas. And then finally, everyone know that this is the best asana. ये सबसे अच्छा और सबसे आसान और सबसे easy आसन है करने के लिए. इसे हर कोई पसंद करता है करने के लिए, right? शवासन सबसे easy है, कोई तकलीफ नहीं होती है. So this is towards the end of your yoga session. You do the relaxation asana, and that's why I have also shown this at the end of my lecture, because now my lecture is going to end after this, so you should relax a bit now, after listening to me. And this auspicious day of International Yoga Day. Thank you so much, Dr. Sarita Singh ji and the entire management for the opportunity. Now over to you for the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your wisdom. Definitely our students as well as our faculty enlighten and also enjoy your lecture. It will be a great pleasure to listen you again in our future events also, sir. I now moving on to the question answer session and would invite Ms. Rupal to proceed with the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So it's my absolute pleasure to address all the questions to you. Because we have less time and we have a lot of questions, I am bound to select few questions out of the questions that we have received. The very first question is from Samriddhi Dikshit. I would like to request the participants to please turn on their cameras while I would be addressing their questions. Good afternoon, sir. My question is, what are the effects of meditation on brain?
When you do the meditation, of course, there is an effect on your mental health. When we say the brain as such, brain को ना बोल के हम इसको बोलेंगे आपका जो nervous system है. So it can affect your nervous system because you try to control your emotions when you do the meditation. You try to control your feelings, your nerves, and it can bring your depression levels. It can soothe your nerves. जो आपकी nerves होती हैं उनको उनकी soothing में उनको calm करने में help करता है meditation. So certainly when you do the meditation, it will help you to relieve the symptoms of stress, anxiety, and depression. So that's how it affects your brain and your nervous system basically.
Thank you, sir. So the second question is from Dr. Amina Hassan. Good afternoon, sir. I would like to know at what age can we introduce yoga to children? And are there any yoga asanas which the elderly should not try practicing?
Okay, this is a very good question. In fact, I don't know, maybe you are reading my mind, some of the, the people on platform. So even I was thinking in the morning when I give the lecture that, I forgot to tell in that lecture about, because I was addressing actually school students. So then I was thinking about my son, when and I was about to tell to them that yoga can be practiced, from any age. Because as I said, जब हम योगा बोलते हैं तो योगा का मतलब क्या है? अगर आप बोलेंगे मुझे शीर्ष आसन करना है, वो ही एक योगा है, तो मैं कहूंगा कि 2 साल के बच्चे को नहीं करना चाहिए. ठीक है. अगर आप ये बोलते हैं कि योगा में मेडिटेशन भी है। सो हम बच्चे को बोल सकते हैं कि आप अपने पैरों को फोल्ड करके बैठ जाइए, हाथ सीधे कर लीजिए, 5 मिनट तक जो है ना आंखें बंद कर लीजिए, दिस इज ऑल्सो योगा। सो हम 2 से 3 साल के बच्चे को बोल सकते हैं करने के लिए काम, कोई मुश्किल नहीं है। सो किड्स at as early age, when a child can understand, can interrupt your messages, जो बच्चा है जिस एज में आके वो आपकी बातों को समझ सके, आपको रिस्पॉन्ड कर सके, एप्रोप्रिएट एज के हिसाब से उसे हम नियम योगा करा सकते हैं। ओल्ड एज की अगर हम बात कर रहे हैं कि ओल्ड एज में कौन से आसन से योगा नहीं करने चाहिए, सर्टेनली जब हमारी एज बढ़ जाती है तो उसके साथ साथ हमारा जो बैलेंस है, हमारी जो स्ट्रेंथ है बॉडी में, वो वीक हो जाती है। सो व्हेन यू आर old age, you should avoid the asanas which involve the balance, in which there is a chance of falling. आपका गिरने का डर हो सकता है आपको, क्योंकि आपकी स्ट्रेंथ कम हो जाती है, और अगर आप गिर जाएंगे आप फॉल हो सकते हैं, आपको फ्रैक्चर हो सकता है। अगेन दैट डिपेंड्स अपॉन ओल्ड एज का मतलब मैं इसको 50 साल की एज मानूं या 70 साल की एज मानूं या 80, वो डिपेंड करेगा एज टू एज पे। सो यू हैव टू सी योर कंडीशन। So especially the asanas which are involved, in standing on one leg, asanas, especially the reverse poses जो आपके हैं, जो शीर्षासन है जिसमें आप रिवर्स करते हैं, इस तरह के poses आप ओल्ड एज में अवॉइड कर सकते हैं। अगेन केस टू केस बेसिस, अगर आप हेल्दी हैं, फिट हैं, बिल्कुल परफेक्ट हैं, तब आप कर सकते हैं, लेकिन अगेन डिपेंड अपॉन पर्सन टू पर्सन।
Thank you, sir.
These are very specific questions, very difficult to because these are all individual, maybe if I can say that this asana you cannot do in old age, but some people can do in the old age. Even some people in the young age also cannot do it. So depends upon again case. But in general, what I said is applicable in general.
Thank you so much, sir. Another question is from Anushka Singh. Good afternoon, sir. My question is that my mother is a heart patient. So what yoga asana she can do to lose weight?
Heart patient. So heart patient means, as I said, when a person has a medical condition, जब किसी भी person को कोई medical condition होती है, especially when we talk about the heart conditions, so ऐसे आसन ना करें ज्यादा जिसमें कि आपको एक तो ज्यादा देर तक ब्रीथ को होल्ड करना पड़े, क्योंकि it certainly involves your heart and your lungs both, क्योंकि उसमें आपकी जो ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई है वो रिड्यूस हो जाती है आपका, और ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई जब रिड्यूस होती है तो वो हार्ट को भी होती है, ब्रेन के साथ दोनों को होती है। So it is important not to involve, activities which involve too much holding time of the breath, या जिसमें आपको especially again जैसे मैंने बताया कि जो शीर्षासन है, जो रिवर्स पोजेस हैं, वो उस तरह के पोजेस नहीं करने चाहिए if you are a heart patient. And other asanas which involve vigorous, जिसमें ज्यादा डायनेमिक फॉर्म है, हम पावर योगा की बात करते हैं, जो पावर योगा है उस तरह का उन्हें नहीं करना चाहिए, और करना भी है तो उसकी इंटेंसिटी स्लो होनी चाहिए। जो भी आसन कर रहे हैं उनको धीरे धीरे करना चाहिए और इंटेंसिटी बहुत स्लो होनी चाहिए। एंड इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जो उसमें है, जो इस तरह के जो पेशेंट्स हैं या लोग हैं, वो ध्यान रखें, अपनी बॉडी को सुने, अपनी बॉडी के रिस्पॉन्स को देखें कि आपकी बॉडी कैसे रिस्पॉन्ड कर रही है, आपका हार्ट रेट कितना बढ़ रहा है, कम ज्यादा हो रहा है, अकॉर्डिंगली यू हैव टू रिड्यूस। एंड ऑफ कोर्स यू मस्ट टेक द एडवाइस फ्रॉम योर फिजिशियन। आप कंसल्ट कर रहे हैं, उससे भी एक बार आप पूछ सकते हैं कि मैं ये इसी तरह की एक्टिविटी एक्सरसाइज करने जा रहा हूँ, क्या मेरे लिए सही है, राइट?
Thank you, sir. Other question we have is from Anjali. Good afternoon, sir. Are there any side effects of quitting yoga practice?
साइड इफेक्ट्स ऑफ क्विटिंग योगा प्रैक्टिस, ऑफ कोर्स योगा को अगर आप क्विट करते हैं तो आपके साइड इफेक्ट्स ही हैं सारे, और उसमें कोई पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट नहीं है। So यही एक ऐसा चीज है, this is only one thing where I can say that yes, there are all side effects of quitting a yoga. Side effects in the sense, it's not like the side effects of a medicine, like when you take some medicine and you get some bad effects. Here the side effects means if you quit yoga, I don't know what your question is, but let me just try to gather what you're saying. जैसे हम कोई एक बुरी आदत हमें लग जाती है, उसको हम छोड़ते हैं, तो हम बोलते हैं कि उसको छोड़ेंगे तो हमें ये विड्रॉल सिम्टम्स बॉडी में होंगे और हम उसको छोड़ नहीं पाते हैं। कोई लोग स्मोकिंग करते हैं, जो स्मोकिंग को छोड़ना चाहते हैं तो उनको कुछ साइड इफेक्ट्स होते हैं। अगर आप उस तरह से पूछ रहे हैं इस बात को, तो यस, देयर इज नो साइड इफेक्ट्स, उस तरह से कोई साइड इफेक्ट्स नहीं है। लेकिन जब आप योगा नहीं करेंगे तो आपने योगा से जो भी बेनिफिट आपने एक्वायर किए हैं, व्हाटएवर बेनिफिट्स ऑन योर हेल्थ यू हैव एक्वायर्ड थ्रू द योगा प्रैक्टिसेस, they will cease to exist over a period of time. So जो भी आपने benefit किए, आपकी muscle strength improve हुई है, आपका endurance improve हुआ है, आपका breath holding time improve हुआ है, आपका body composition improve हुआ है, ये सब चीजें धीरे धीरे उसी फेज में नीचे गिरती जाएंगी और आप 1, 2, 3, 4 या 1 महीने के अंदर जहां से आपने शुरू किया था आप वापस 0 पे आ जाएंगे. सो इस तरह के साइड इफेक्ट्स हो सकते हैं.
Thank you, sir. The last question for the day is from Akshaya Singh. Good afternoon, sir. Why do people get muscle cramps in yoga?
ये तो बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है और not only in yoga but also in the exercise. और अभी मैं कुछ studies कर रहा हूँ. I am doing some courses in sports nutrition. तो वहाँ पे मुझे कुछ assignment मिले हुए हैं और जो assignment मैंने खुद choose किया है वो एक ही assignment है cramp के ऊपर. So I am doing a lot of deep study on why people get muscle cramp and I am one of the sufferer. मैं खुद एक इसका आप कह सकते हैं कि भुक्तभोगी हूँ कि जब मैं एक्सरसाइज करता हूँ, स्पेशली व्हेन आई रन माय मैराथन्स, I used to get muscle cramps. To be very honest, I can give the reason, but to be very honest, till date, there is no full proof, there is no research, nobody was able to tell convincingly that why people get the cramp. कि cramp हमें क्यों आता है, उसका कोई एक permanent answer नहीं है. But what are the probable reasons? जो हम सब जो साइंटिस्ट हैं जो हम देखते हैं क्यों है. First is because when you do yoga, for example, first maybe you did not do enough warm up. आपने proper अपनी body को warm up नहीं किया है. Okay, so in that case your muscles sometimes may get cramp. कई बार क्या, many times what happens, you do a sudden stretch. आप एक्सरसाइज योगा कर रहे हैं या कोई पोज कर रहे हैं, आप उसमें एकदम सडनली करते हैं. आपको स्लो मूवमेंट्स करनी चाहिए. Sometimes you do a fast and sudden movement and then the muscles may get stretched, you may get the cramp. That time also cramp, I understand, I don't know what they are saying, but sometimes because people use the cramp word for many other things, so that's basically cramp is a sudden stretch of the muscles. Many times आपने खुद देखा होगा, आप रात को सो रहे होते हैं या कुछ है, आपकी सडनली आपके पैरों की उंगलियां खिंच जाती हैं, आपके क्रैम्प हो जाते हैं. Many times it happens, in not only yoga, otherwise also, and it is basically, other than what I said, there is a imbalance of the electrolyte. आपका जो सोडियम और पोटेशियम का जो बैलेंस होता है मसल के अंदर, उस इम्बैलेंस की वजह से मसल क्रैम्प आता है. तो आप अगर डिहाइड्रेटेड है, आप प्रॉपर्ली दिन भर पानी नहीं पी रहे हैं, यू आर नॉट ड्रिंकिंग इनफ वाटर, that can also lead to the muscle cramp. Enough water, at the same time the loss of minerals like sodium and potassium from your body, maybe through sweat in the entire day, and you are not able to replenish those minerals, then you may get cramp while doing the yoga. And all these cramps you can otherwise also get, हमने जैसे मैंने बताया, आप कई बार होगा, आपको सोते सोते आपके पैरों की नसें खिंच जाती हैं, cramp हो जाता है. This is the reason why we get the cramp. And magnesium is another factor, which the loss of magnesium from your body can also lead to the muscle cramps. I hope I was able to give in a short and crisp way for these things. And these are actually my way, this is my area of expertise basically when we talk about the nutrition and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We cannot hear you, Dr. Sarita ji.
Okay. Thank you, Rupal. Now I would invite our principal, Dr. Upma Chaturvedi, to say a few words. Ma'am, are you able to hear? I'm sorry. I'm right now, I have unmuted myself. I'm extremely thankful to Dr. Rakesh Tomar. As he said, I'm fit because I do yoga. So it was a very inspiring, very motivational lecture for my students. And as he said, that you start as early as possible to lead a very healthy and fit life when you are 40 or 50 or 60. So we have learned a lot, and it was very extremely informative, especially about Hatha yoga. I used to think it's something that it is related to some kind of practice that yogis do. Actually, I used to think about Hatha Yoga as something, spiritual or something, but now I have understood exactly what it is. Um, Now I want to thank Dr. Sarita Singh, Dr. Amina Hassan, Dr. Neetu Agarwal, and my technical team, my students who are supporting and helping in organizing these events. And yes, my management, especially Ms. Vikaji, my president, my manager, Professor Nishi Pandey. And sir, we would like to listen more about these things. And I request Dr. Sarita Singh to invite you again and enlighten us on these particular topics. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now request Ms. Sugita to propose a formal vote of thanks.
Attitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance and confusion into clarity. I place on record my deep sense of gratitude to Dr. Rakesh Tomar. Sir, you have sown the seed of awareness in us and reshaped our understanding of the whole concept and the importance of yoga in our life. Thank you for sparing your precious time. We look forward to another thought-provoking session with you. I would like to thank Ms. Zareen Vikaji, the President of Managing Committee of our college, for making it possible for us to conduct the event. We are grateful to Professor Nishi Pandey, Manager of the Managing Committee, for her constant support in all our events. I would also like to thank our Dr. Upma Chaturvedi, Principal of Awadh Girls Degree College, for help and guidance in all our events. I would like to thank Lieutenant Dr. Sarita Singh for her untiring efforts in initiating, molding, and working to make the event possible. I offer my sincere thanks to Dr. Amina Hassan and her team for technical support.
Thank you, Sarita. So, sir, this is a card which our students want to share with you, a thank you card. Hope you will like it.
Thank you so much. That's really a wonderful gesture, and I'm really impressed the way the whole session has been organized and handled so beautifully, by your students. It's a flawless, session, and I have been giving so many lectures. I've experienced there are many shortcomings in lectures, and I found that it has been wonderfully scripted session. I would say that. And like even if I look at how the participants behave, that there's a complete silence, there's no disturbances. Usually we see even in good conference, I see there's so much of issues. So I would like to thank, I think I should thank the principal, under whose guidance all these things have been planned. So really, I'm really so happy and satisfied the way this session has been organized, and I'm sure this is not the only session, if I'm not correct, if I'm not wrong, you have been doing number of series, number of lectures in this series, and you must be doing in the same way. So the good luck and my best wishes to the students, especially. I know it's under the guidance of the principal and Dr. Sarita Singh ji also, but I'm sure that the students are always behind every successful event. So good luck to the wonderful students of your college, who are wonderful because of their wonderful leadership.
Dr. Tomar, it means a lot to us. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It means a lot, sir, because your words are really, it appreciate us as well as our students.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Before we end the session, sir, I would request everyone to put your cameras on for a group photograph, because everyone wants to take a photograph with you, sir. So please put on your cameras on, students. So Rupal and Disha, when it will be done, then please let us know.
It's done.
Okay, thank you so much. Once again, thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session and each one present here for gracing the occasion. Thank you so much, sir. We will look forward to you to speak so much sessions in our sessions. Thank you again. Now I request Now I request Rupal to officially end the meeting. Thank you so much, everyone, for gracing the occasion.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.